Mother and son bloggers Laura and Taylor Miller from Clearwater are using their experience with celiac disease to help themselves and others. They have launched Gluten Away, the first ever dedicated gluten-free event at Learning Center in the nation. We're happy to welcome them to The Blend this morning. Good morning.
Glad to be here. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hope you had a nice Mother's Day yesterday. And I love that this is a mother-son duo. And really, I mean, this comes back to your own personal experience, which how many years ago? I mean, I think we're just now kind of learning more about gluten-free and celiac disease. I imagine when you were first diagnosed and then with you a year later, it must have been hard to find information.
Yeah, about 8 years ago I was diagnosed. So things have come a long way with products as well as education and research. So yeah, it was definitely difficult 8 years ago to find something that was edible. But
then thanks to people like you, to Taylor, because when you found out, you were how old?
I was 13 years old, yeah. So at that time, I mean, you can imagine it was 2010. So there was really, like she mentioned, there was nothing to eat as a kid, which you just want to feel normal at that age, and there was really nothing to eat. So
you started your own blog. You did something about it.
So I started it when I was 15 years old, just because I realized there's no other kids my age to really relate to, because at that age it's already hard enough. So I wanted to help people in that situation, you know, who are gluten-free. I wanted to make sure that they don't feel alone and that they have a resource or someone else to help them. And that's why I started my blog, to help kids, teens, and then eventually parents of the kids and teens who are gluten-free.
And it spread like wildfire from what I believe, you know, from what I understand.
Yeah, I mean, I was so surprised that no other teens or kids were out there just expressing what it's like to be gluten-free at that age. And it really, since I was the only one doing it, it just got a lot of popularity, and it really started to catch on over the years.
So now you guys kind of travel a lot and teaching people how to cook, showing what's on the market. And let's go ahead and get you cooking, Taylor. What are you making for us today?
So today we're making a gluten-free bread pudding. So a lot of people think that you can't enjoy bread again when you go gluten-free, but this is actually something that's really easy to make, and you can make it in about 5 to 10 minutes, but it's super easy.
We have about another 2.5, 3 minutes left. Can we fake it?
So we can get it going. So the first thing you're going to need is this bread here. This is Canyon Bakehouse bread. And originally what you're going to do, you're going to want to cut up the bread into 4 different slices going each way, and you
just
need
cube it up like that.
Cube it up exactly like this. So
and
it's
this
just
is where
6
bread
cups.
has come such a long way. I mean, now
it
you can
really
get
has.
cinnamon, you know, flavored bread.
So this is the first step you're going to do for it, and obviously we already have this step done, so we can move on. But just you want to have 6 cups of the Canyon Bakehouse bread, and we use cinnamon raisin bread as well.
And we'll put this recipe on our website as well.
Yes, perfect.
So go ahead and what next?
So for the next step, we want to have a 1/2 cup or a 1/4 cup of butter, and then you want 2 cups of milk. You want to have a saucer pan here and put it on medium heat.
I see you're using cashew milk.
And yes, so we're using cashew milk because some people who are gluten-free also have dairy allergies or lactose intolerant. And that's why we're using cashew milk, to make sure that they can enjoy it as well, which I have lactose intolerant too.
Okay.
So that's just something that makes it
And
more
a lot
accessible.
of people, do they have them kind of both? Are you finding that when you go and meet people across the country that this is something?
yeah, generally someone that's been diagnosed with celiac or has learned that they have a gluten intolerance, they also end up finding out that they have an additional allergy. So it's because they're connected with the right doctors, and they just end up usually finding out that they have another intolerance or issue.
As he's doing this, and you know, as a mom, and it's got to be pretty frustrating, I'd imagine, when you first get the diagnosis, and I mean, it's a lifestyle change, you know. I mean, what hope would you give people who are maybe just finding out that they have allergies? And again, I know there could be worse things in life, but it is. I mean, it's a life change.
I mean, there's just a lot of support out there now. You know, that it's not the end of the world, and there are a lot of great options. So, I mean, there's nothing more than you want your child to feel normal or to feel normal, but there's so many people out there that now can relate and are learning that they have the same issues. So it's just to know that you're not alone.
Okay. We're almost out of time, so I don't think we're going to get to all of it, but basically kind of give us the lowdown.
Yes, so it's really, this is really the last step. For the last part, you want to create the mixture you're adding to your bread cubes. You do 2 eggs, you do a 1/2 cup of sugar, so refined sugar. Then you do 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 1 teaspoon. And
just mixing that all up here?
Mix it all together, and then you're going to add your bread cubes to it, mix it together, and then once this is done and melted, your milk and butter mixture, add it all together, mix it up, dump it in a pan just like this, and put it in the oven on 350 for 40 to 45 minutes. All
right, and again, we'll make sure and put that recipe on our website. But again, I know you have events and cooking classes. Where can people find out more about what you guys are doing?
So we're based in Clearwater, Florida. You can go to glutenfreeintampa.com. We have events every 3 months, cooking classes, and then we also have gluten-free schools about every month as well throughout the year.
All right. Well, thank you both so much for being here this morning. Congratulations on all your success, and we can't wait to have you back to share more recipes.
Thanks for having us.
Again, happy belated Mother's Day to
Thank you.
you.